Hi there, and welcome to the final, yes, final lecture for university research. Well done on making it this far. It's a tough course, I know, and we do expect a lot from you, but from what I've heard, you've all done really good work so far. You should be pretty much on the way to drafting your essay now, or you should be drafting your essay right now. So there's not much point in giving you a really extended online lecture, so this short YouTube video is it for this week. I just wanted to cover some important points about editing and proofreading. To begin with, you should do it. It sounds like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised at the number of people who don't edit their work before handing it up, and it shows. It just looks sloppy and weak, and it looks like you don't really care about the quality of your work. It's going to get the marker offside straight away. Of course, editing takes time, and if you only finish your draft the night before the essay is due, you're not going to have time to edit it properly. So like a lot of things, it's about time management. Try and make sure you finish your draft at least a week before it's due to give yourself time to edit. Okay, let's be realistic, maybe 3 or 4 days, but give yourself time, at least a few days, to edit it properly and improve its quality. One of the reasons that you'll need time is you would probably need more than one read-through to properly edit your essay. A lot of people do half a dozen or 10 drafts of their work to really make it really polished and finely honed. I mean, creative writers will sometimes do dozens of drafts of individual pieces of work. So what I recommend is that you start with macro editing and then work towards micro editing. In this first round, the macro editing, you should look at the big stuff. Look at the overall structure. Does each paragraph have a topic sentence? Remember, that's a sentence that effectively and concisely expresses the main point of the paragraph. What's the shape of the essay? Does it flow well? Are there good connections between the paragraphs and things like that? Have a skim over it and compare it with your plan to check that it turned out how you intended and that it has the right kind of shape for your essay. So this is macro stuff. It's kind of big stuff about paragraph structure and overall essay structure and things like that. If you need to change any of this big stuff now, now's the time to add or remove paragraphs or relocate them so they fall more logically in the essay structure. After this, you can move on to micro-editing, and this is what most people think of as editing or proofreading. This is looking at the sentence level of your writing, checking the grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Attention to detail is crucial here. Let's be honest, it's unlikely to ever be perfect, but you need to make it as good as it can possibly be, and it needs to show that you care about the quality of your writing. That's the main thing. It needs to be professional. If you have any trouble with particular aspects of spelling, grammar, or punctuation, use the strategic, reflective approach that we've used all throughout the UPP. Identify the problem. What's the difficulty that you're having with grammar, spelling, punctuation, whatever? Learn how to fix it. So what are the rules? How do you fix that? You might have to do some boring learning of grammar and stuff like that. That's just it. You might have to suck that up. Apply the strategy. Come up with a way of dealing with it, of fixing these errors in your writing, apply that strategy and adapt it if it isn't working. You do have to put effort into it, but if you do, your writing will improve and it will become easier to do your editing and proofreading and to do good quality work. You also need to give yourself plenty of time because your editing will be much more effective if you have some distance between the writing and editing. It's what we call defamiliarization. If you've just written something, you're still too close to the work to be able to effectively identify the errors in it. It's like you have a blind spot and you just can't see the things that you need to fix. Even if you have limited time, put the draft in a drawer, don't look at it for a few hours. Go for a walk, do some other work or some reading, take a break and then go back to it. You really just need to defamiliarize yourself from the work to effectively edit it. Get distance, and that mostly happens through time and through doing something else with your brain in between. Another way of doing this, of getting this distance, is to read your work aloud to yourself. If you don't do this already, it's time to start. Seriously, this is the single best thing you can do to improve your editing. You'll be amazed at the errors you find when you read it aloud, and you can really improve the quality of your work dramatically. Yeah, sure, you have to lock yourself in your room and in front of a mirror or something like that. Yeah, you should warn your family or your roommates that you're going to be like crazy talking to yourself for a bit, but that's fine, they'll understand. The reason this is so effective, again, is that you're getting that bit more distance from the work than you would have if you've read it off the page. Honestly, try reading this essay aloud to yourself and find the errors. You'll find that you find the errors much, much more easily. Another way of doing good editing is to get some help from friends in editing. When I was at uni, I got my mum, bless her, to read all my assignments in first year, and it was really helpful until she admitted that eventually she didn't really know what I was on about and that she felt that she wasn't helping so much anymore. I'd kind of surpassed her in my learning, but that was fine. I was doing okay by then. But if you don't have a family member or a friend outside university who can help with this, why not ask a colleague in the UPP? You're there to help each other, and this is a really reciprocal kind of piece of help you can give to each other. Read each other's essay and give each other advice. I guarantee your work will be the better for it. So just one word of warning, if you do go ahead with this, editing each other's works thing, my suggestion is that you meet and bring a printed copy of your assignment somewhere in the hub, that you write on each other's paper, talk through the feedback, and then give it back to each other. I would say never send a copy of your assignment to another person. They may be your best friend, but you never know who will borrow your work and claim it as their own. It's happened before. The universities have had committees where you've had students in front of a committee, like clawing each other's eyes out because they used to be best friends, but then someone stole someone's essay and it's gotten them in a lot of trouble. And the rules say that it doesn't matter who does the borrowing and who does the lending, you're both equally guilty of collusion. So collusion, that's the thing of like unfairly or unauthorized sharing of your work. So always make sure your work is solely your own and never give anyone else the chance to use your work inappropriately. That doesn't mean that you can't give feedback and you can't make notes and you can't give suggestions to each other's work or can't share ideas. It means that your work has to be your own. Don't give anyone else the chance to steal your work. Basically, there are no golden bullets to editing and proofreading. There's no perfect advice I can give you. There are a few useful strategies, like the ones I've just talked about, but in the end you just have to work at it. Allow yourself time to do it properly and find some tips like the ones above that make it more effective for you. Find out like everything in learning, find out what works well for you and do that. But I guarantee the effort will be worth it. It can make your writing much more polished and self-assured, which can convince the reader that you're professional, hardworking, and care about the quality of your work. And this usually translates into marks, even if not directly. Mostly because if a marker looks at a piece of work and it's full of spelling errors, they go, oh, really? Do they really care about this? And they'll become a lot more critical about other aspects of the essay as well. So just do your editing. Do your best at it and improve wherever you can. Okay, that's it for this week. Short one, hey? Phew. So that's it for the formal lectures in this course as well. I hope you've enjoyed them. The online lectures have been very time-consuming for me, but I think and hope that they've been really useful for you and that you particularly liked being able to do them at home and all that sort of thing. Feels like I don't really have so much connection with people because I'm not seeing people face to face, but I'm kind of hoping that you feel a bit of rapport with me and feel okay to ask me questions. So you've got plenty of work to do to go on with to finish your essays. So good luck with it and feel free to ask me if you've got any questions. Send me an email, give me a call, drop into my office, anything like that. In this week's folder, there's an editing exercise to do with the editing and proofreading thing that I'll leave for one of the 2 remaining tutorials that you have in the course, but it's not urgent and you'll be doing kind of mostly intensive writing workshops in for the rest of this course. I will do another final farewell video wrapping up the course, summarizing it and talking a bit about the exam in the next week or 2, so look out for that. Otherwise, good luck with your essays. Thanks.